Hello, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm so glad to be back. Today, we will be reviewing a very special album, which is JID's The Forever Story. So, yeah, sit down, get comfortable, and let's get right to it. JID has always been a very interesting, significant figure. I was first exposed to him when I listened to the DiCaprio 2 record, which is a great record, and I recommend anyone listen to this that has no idea who JID is to listen to that right now. Make it be your first listen, and then go to the Forever Story so you get a bit more comfortable and have a sense of who JID is. But yeah, I mean, DiCaprio 2 was like this hungry, young, talented, upcoming rapper who was just showcasing his talents, his skills, and was putting it up for display. I mean, he was flexing with us with so many bangers off of that song, which is just honestly crazy. The mere fact that he got the co-sign from one of the GOATs, J. Cole, was even crazier. And being in his label Dreamville, I mean, the performances that he's given out through the mixtapes of Revenge of the Dreamers have been all great, have been all excellent, and have been just showcasing how much talent he has and just how he still hasn't even gotten to his prime yet. That was his breakout record. He did have a first record, which I believe is the Never Story. I recall listening to it once. I don't remember necessarily everything. It's a bit vague. I gotta re-listen to that record again. But from what I recall, it was a bit more soulish. It kind of had like other aspects from JD, but I guess it gave you like a bit of a sense of his artistic abilities. 4 years later, yes, it's been 4 years, and I remember when 2019 when he tweeted out that he was going to release an album soon, and bro, that was almost 3 years ago, which is crazy now thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, he didn't obviously release it, but we did get some lead singles this year. If I'm not mistaken, Surround Sound came out around this year, which was a complete banger of a song. I mean, the flow switch ups were crazy. 21 Savage's performance was fantastic. I mean, that was just like I'm back type of feeling. The second lead, Dance Now, which features Kenny Mason, and he did a great job on this song delivering the chorus or the hook segment. Was just supplemented by this fun beat and I guess some little pokes about racial history, about racism that's going on around in America. It had some, I guess, some pokes around there, but I think overall around the song, it was really like a fun banger. You can just nod your head to it, and it's just, you're not even so much to the point you're gonna break your neck. It was just that crazy of a song, and it was just giving you more the impression of this guy JID is going to kill it after this 4-year wait. And well, the 4-year wait is finally over. JID released The Forever Story, and I got to say, this brings a smile to my face because it's like I've seen this guy's artistic progression throughout the years, and to just see this record just, spawn, and the creativity, the lyricism, the production value, everything has just been times 2 on this record. It is so great. It's so freaking good. And I'm so glad I waited the 4 years for this. The track Galaxy starts up this entire record. It's a brief 45-second, very nice choir type of song where I guess discussing how everyone is a star, which this is this metaphorical comparison combining stars. I'm not entirely sure if he means like celebrities as stars, which he sort of does allude to that late in the record. But a galaxy meaning there's a whole combination of stars. There's a whole group of stars surrounding us, and how everyone wants to be one. Everyone wants to be, I guess, significant and contribute something to the culture, and wants to be one of the stars in the galaxy, which I think was a very smart and clever way to start this record, because that theme sort of plays on throughout the record, the record's progression. The second track, Right Now, is like one of the craziest songs I've heard this guy ever make. I mean, the entire beat is just so like busy, and not necessarily like in a negative way. I just think it's busy in the sense that there's so much going on, and just JID's rapping for some reason just like makes this thing make sense somehow. I mean, the freaking whistles that go on some part, the technical foul, the samples that are just like, I guess, alluding to basketball references or just sports references throughout the entire record, and then the beat switching every time the track progresses, and just JID's flow readjusting at every segment is honestly a crazy factor, and it's just very entertaining to just listen to and just be in shock and just be in awe to. And there was this one line, well, with one snap he could end Avengers, I guess referencing that he is Thanos, in which I completely agree with, because this guy has such a technical ability to the point that he can end a lot of rappers, and he could really out rap a lot of rappers. I mean, the XSO freestyle kind of, but I just love that simile that he's sort of like Thanos, and he could end Avengers with one snap, and he could kill rappers with one snap. And I thought it was a very creative, sort of fun, funny bar. And there are also some hints in here, as I said before in Dance Now, of obviously discriminatory issues, racism issues, where he said that every night they can end someone's life. You know, you can never be too safe. It could be broad day, it could be night, and just someone can end your life right on sight. It can be under your, it can end your life right on sight. It can also be the cops. You know, it's like it gives this feeling of insecurity. It's this feeling of you can never be too safe, or you had to be always aware of your surroundings. The track Crack Sandwich is easily one of the most lyrical tracks I've ever heard JID make. He's sort of comparing this environment as to a crack house almost, and just as the track goes on and on and on, we get to hear different stories as his, a confrontation with a person who assaulted his sister, and how he literally had to just strike, and it doesn't matter who it is, like cops, security guards, anybody. He's gonna come up with his gang, and he's gonna like just start a fight with it. It's really these crazy stories. That's what I was getting throughout the track, where it's like a combination of these crazy stories put into one, and it's almost like a crack in a way, where it's like everything's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But yeah, I mean, this guy's bars and flows are just, it's just crazy. I mean, I think the biggest thing that makes JID so essential, and that just proves in this record, aside of the artistic standpoint of this thing that's a bit more focused and that I already got from DiCaprio 2, was that obviously, technically speaking, his flow is one of the best flows to ever touch hip-hop history, period. His flows are so rapid that he could change. He knows how to control his flow. I noticed this thing a lot with a lot of rappers is that they can flow. They can have a nice flow, but they don't know how to control it properly. JID knows how to control it properly, so effortlessly. And you can tell that he's practiced this over and over and over, and he's already mastered it. It's already like a tool for him that he can easily use and dispose of. Tracks like Can't Punk Me featuring Earthgang, which I gotta say, Earthgang killed it on this track. Jesus. It was another showcase of his lyrical ability, and it's just his charisma between his Dreamville members. The track Cody Blue 31 is one of the more R&B, soulish type of cuts in here, a bit more laid back. But I guess one of the more artistic tracks of this entire record, because it's I guess conveying this message. It's conveying this message as we gotta keep on going on, no matter what hole we digged ourselves on. We gotta keep on going on. We gotta get out of the hole, keep on progressing, which sort of reminds me a bit of Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, which the entire message of that record was to keep on going on. As the song Walking said, you gotta keep on going on no matter how messy the situation is, no matter how deep your hole is, or if you dig your own hole, you gotta get out of the hole, you gotta start anew, you gotta keep on progressing as a person, mentally and physically speaking. I was surprised to see a Lil Durk feature. I didn't know JID and Lil Durk were tight like that. Brother Name, which I think is an okay song for the most part. I did like the instrumental though. I think it was like pretty cool. Lil Durk did try to make an attempt, flow in here a bit here. They try to flow a bit in here. Some parts were slightly awkward. But I think other parts were just okay. It was a fine track. But I like how it follows the track Synonym, which I think is, if not the longest JID track I think I've heard in a while. But it makes sense. I mean, we have some guest appearances from James Blake, who isn't credited right in front, but I know James Blake for sure was in the track. And just hear the godlike vocals he has, and this other female artist that I cannot wrap around my head. I might have known the female artist, but I just don't know her name. But yeah, I mean, just everything just combines so well and immaculately in this song as a whole. And JID discussing the topics of keeping your friends closer, treating with females equally, giving some respect, and also brings a question. He also brings a question of keeping his integrity. You gotta remind yourself of how you got into this position. You gotta remind yourself as why you got to this story. You gotta be humble. You gotta be loyal, and remember your day oneers, which is talking about his sisters. His family, his friends in general. You gotta stay in that thing. You gotta preserve his integrity. He's afraid of losing his integrity. And in the chorus segment, we get to hear some lyrics of fathers and mothers that were fallen. I guess sort of a tribute, alluding to those family members, the ones who are unfortunately fallen. Can Make You Change featuring Ari Lennox, as I guess interesting as it sounds, personally for me, I didn't find as much enjoyment as I wanted to find it until like the last minute, where I think things started to catch up pace and JID started to really rap on that thing. But personally, I don't think I'll really stick around and listen to this song really again. I just think that Ari's part is a bit too long. There isn't, I guess, that much flavor into the song, as I said, until the ending. But it's really just an okay song. It's there for people who want it. However, I was very, very impressed with the following track, Stars, featuring Jessing Bay. This guy got Mos Def on his song. That is crazy. And I really like this because I first been sketching circulating on this track that it's a bit disjointed, or the pitched up vocals can be a little bit messy from time to time. But if you just want to feel good type of tracks, and as I said earlier, it sort of connects to this theme or concept of becoming a star in this universe full of, in this galaxy, meaning like this group of celebrities. You're trying to become at their same level, or you've already become at the same stardom level, and you're trying to, I guess, maintain your integrity and not be lost as a greedy person. And Stars sort of gives you that, impression as he raps, and as JID tells the story of how he wanted to be a Kanye, he wanted to be, I guess, and he wanted to be a Jay-Z, he wanted to be an innovator in the rap game, until he realized that he should be himself and just look for his own style and not base it around other artists or try to, I guess, be like other artists. He wants to be himself, and he sees his potential role modelness in the future generation. Just in Time featuring Lil Wayne and Kenny Mason. As much as I wanted to like this track, I think it's okay, really. It's one of those, again, another okay track. Initially, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool, because JID was flowing his ass off on this track. But personally, I think the beat could have been a bit more. I mean, I do like the drums. The drums are pretty bouncy, not gonna lie. I just think that maybe the loop, I don't know, could have been a different loop. I wasn't a huge fan necessarily of the sampling. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of the sample. Kenny Mason did alright in this track. I wasn't as great as Dance Now. And Lil Wayne, I don't think I'll have a problem with Lil Wayne's part. I just think it's one of those okay Lil Wayne features. It's not necessarily bad or anything like that. I just think it's one of those passable Lil Wayne features. The track Money, at first, I kind of found it to be kind of cute, but when you get to listen to it, I guess really, I mean, aside of the melody that sounds something straight out of the Annie play, that just sounds very melodic and very, I guess, Broadway type, I guess you could say. It does have a serious message, discussing the topics of hustling and how we need to get the money to get out of this environment, and how we all need to, we're all just natural born hustlers at this point. We need to get the money. We're aiming at the money. Now I got the money, I can do things the way I wanted to do, and it's sort of like that part. Better Days carries one of the more, I guess, serious topics in here as well, featuring John to Austin. Is JID reflecting on his better days and how there could have always been better days, comparison to, I guess, the more darker days that he's experiencing, I guess, and throughout the mentality of this record, or during the situation where he is. I think it's a nice tie-in to the general concept of this record, and it does sort of, I guess, spark more of the artistic viewpoint that JID carries. The track Louder 2, featuring Revin Lene, I hope I'm saying it correctly, and Aaron Allen Kane, is a very, very nice way to tie this record together. I mean, the vocals, aside of it being godlike and just feeling like galactic, I don't know why I said that, it does feel galactic, especially in the final 30 seconds or 50 seconds of the song. That just feels like this orchestra type, very nice. I feel like I'm levitating in space. That's I think the best way to sum up this song. It feels like I'm levitating in space. I'm seeing a bunch of stars, galaxies, just like the first track said. But man, I mean, it is such a great song. It's very smooth in the second half and just ties it in so nicely. Jesus Christ. Another compliment that I wanted to give is that JID's singing has improved a lot. I'm not gonna lie, JID can really sing in some of these tracks when he's singing around with the choruses or the features that I guess are more designated singers. But this guy can really sing, especially in Cody Blue 31, which I was kind of impressed, and I like how he's branching out in these different areas outside of just rapping. Overall, the Forever Story, I think it's a great continuation of JID's career as an artist and as a rapper. I mean, this just shows so much artistic output, and it just showcases how great of a rapper and as an artist he is, how he still hasn't even reached his prime and he's dropping records sophisticated like this and technical like this. I mean, this is an hour long. I mean, if you were to include, I guess, the outro, I mean, the bonus track that wasn't released in here due to, streaming services and he couldn't clear the sample. Hopefully he does. It would be an hour, I don't know, 3-6 minutes maybe. But yeah, I think this is his biggest record, if I'm not mistaken, his biggest and longest record, which is a bigger risk. I think it's a huge risk, but it pays off in the end because just when you listen to this record a few times, which by the way, I had this thing repeat for the entire week, like it is just worth it, honestly. It just, the time goes on so fast. It's so quick. You're gonna forget the time stamp is even there. It is such a fantastic record to listen to. And yeah, this is definitely a step in the right direction for JID's career. And I hope this guy doesn't take another 4-year break because I think I'm going to need more music after like a year. Because I think I'm going to need more music like next year, 2024 at that point. Yeah, what did I give the Forever Story by JID? I'm going to give this thing a solid 8.5 out of 10. Fantastic record, great input in here, great artistic value in here, and I cannot wait to hear what he has in store for the future. Before I end this episode, I want to give one more album shout out. I'm not going to do an entire review on this thing because I recognize the time and all. I have to shout out Pre-Pleasure by Julia Jacqueline. This is easily one of the best folk / rock records that I've listened to throughout this entire year. Man, is the lyricism so great. The lyrics are so great. They flow so naturally with these lush, open, grand instrumentals. So some things are a bit more minimalistic, I guess, more typical indie folk or indie rock type of instrumentals. But it's catchy. It's very melodic. A lot of the lyrics in here are very emotional. The performance in here is honestly great. It is fantastic. Tracks like Less of a Stranger honestly just had me like kind of almost tearing up a bit. I mean, the serious topic that it carries, the alienation from a parent that can really affect a child's growth, not only mental growth and physical growth, but I guess more of identity as a whole. Tracks like those is like, man, that honestly was deep as hell. But other tracks like Love, Try Not to Let Go, or Later Words Across are just fantastic, catchy ass bops that you can bump into the car any day. Like I was driving and I was playing this entire record, and man, it is such a euphoria to just let your mind go at ease. Highly recommend Pre-Pleasure. A great record. This is a great record that I highly recommend anyone to listen to, even if you're not into folk or rock. This is definitely gonna, like, I guess, get you interested into that genre. You're gonna love it. Great record, easily one of the best albums that I've listened to of this entire year. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast, review, shout out, everything you want to call this thing as a whole, man. I really like making this episode, and I really loved making this episode in particular as well. Yeah. See you guys until next time. Peace out, and just stay chilling, bro. And yeah, just stay chilling, bro. Just do whatever you want, bro.